Welcome to Divine Cuppa number 12. Today we are talking about fact or fear, and today is the 4th of July, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation because I feel like it's going to go somewhere out there. No pun intended, or am I meaning it? So I'm Denise Mustard, and I am an emotional fitness coach. And to my left, I don't know if that is the way that you're seeing it, is Vanessa. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm a lifestyle coach working with women, helping you to help yourself and feel more confident.
Then we have beautiful Layla.
Oh, thank you. Hello, I'm Layla. I'm still alive, so all's good.
And then the gorgeous Susie.
Hello everybody, and I'm Susie, emotional wellbeing coach as well as author of You Are Enough. Looking forward to
So 4th of July, we were wanting to talk about that. What does 4th of July mean? Because I guess like Valentine's Day, Halloween, everything that comes from America, we start to celebrate like some sort of, I don't know, some marketing campaign. So what does it mean to us? Why are we so drawn to everything American?
Well, before we go there, remember last week we said that we wanted to bring the angels into our conversation. So the angels, obviously we have, again, I think we were guided to call this program Divine. So it is our Divine Cuppa. At that point, I wasn't reconnected with my cards. But obviously last week I went live and was like, oh, I'm bringing my angels or our angels into the conversation. So the cards are here. And all I want you to do is just think about this program and what you want to get out of it, or even think about the work that we're doing as a collective. And what I'm going to do is I'm just doing a shuffle now. I'll just bring the cards to my heart, and I'm asking the angels to be with us on this episode. We've reached number 12, so we're very proud of ourselves, and we know that we have been guided to do the work that we're doing. So we're just asking the angels to be with us now, and any messages that they want to bring us today for this session and for the rest of our work, we really appreciate it. So thank you. All right, so give them another shuffle. And I have Zenta in the background doing his normal thing.
Banging.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Okay. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so first one that's come up is spread your wings. So that's a really positive card for our collective. It's Archangel Ariel. Don't hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. So for me, it's like almost like the angels saying, carry on doing what you're doing. I had a bit of a giggle when I spoke to someone on Friday, and I said, we do the Divine Cuppa. We've only got about 5 people watching, but we're not bothered. We enjoy it. So, you know, again, for us, it's getting this message out. And for those of you who are watching and listening, then you are in the right place at the right time. And then I've got
not forever, right?
Oh yeah, right now, yeah.
And the fact that there's 5 watching, I'm well chuffed.
No. Well, what we need to do as well, which is a message I keep getting, is we keep forgetting at the end of our program to ask the viewers to like and share. So if you're watching this and you're already, you know,
85 people
fans,
like and
share. So this is a lovely card that we've got now here, which is clear cognizance. I'm probably saying it wrong, but basically Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel's been with me a lot, okay? So Archangel Uriel is saying, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So again, we have our planning session every Tuesday. And actually, according to what Layla and I have been talking about the last few days, we're going to actually start looking at the moon cycle and make sure that we're doing our planning session around the moon, because the moon has a fantastic energy as well. And this is great. I don't know if this card's for me because I've already been outside today, but I've got Archangel Joseph saying, go outside, get some fresh air and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. So I don't know if that's for one of my sisters here on the call. Maybe
It's raining. It's really
raining.
Oh
No, it's always raining in Manchester. Always. Well, I've been out already, and I'm on like well over 7,000 steps, something like that. Yeah, 7,500. So yeah, they're the cards. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to the deeper meanings later on in the show. So yes, the angels are with us. So just going back to that question, so we're talking about Independence Day was the first bit. I mean, yeah, we're here in England. We all said we don't know much about Independence Day, but you know, it's something that is happening. It's a big deal for our American brothers and sisters, and we do have Americans in our Telegram group now. So happy Independence Day, but it's actually recognized as the Day of the Slaves. So that was interesting. Has anybody got any thoughts on just thinking about what you know about history from the perspective of the slaves?
I mean, from my point of view, it's the irony isn't lost on me because, you know, it's a false sense of, oh, we're free. No, we're not. We are so much more enslaved than we know and realize. But also the fact that slavery still exists to this day, and it's one of the biggest businesses in the world, should put people to shame. That that is not that exists, basically, that their awareness doesn't go there. And for me, like, I've always been aware recently, but not known. I guess the last 10 years aware of the fact that there has been a lot of slavery, is like, you know, the human trafficking and whatnot, but not really known what to do to change things. And I really feel like what we are doing is part of that change. So I'm like, that's what it motivates me. I'm not motivated. It's, I feel like I'm on my divine path, and in which things that I've seen through my life or thought, I wish I could do something to help this. I wish I could do something I feel like I'm doing that in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, if I could come in, I think for me, it's like, you know, Vanessa just said something that we've seen represented as meaning one thing actually has another meaning. And I think that's kind of like the state of affairs nowadays, where what we thought was intended in this way actually has a hidden meaning and things going on in the background, and the workings, what was actually happening in the unseen sort of layers or levels of society could be quite different to what was presented to the general population. It sort of reminds me of, for example, I'd heard Valentine's Day, you know, that the reason that was a day was because it actually meant that babies were being born around the time of Halloween, and you think, oh my goodness, you know, there's so many things that could be happening that we just don't have a full awareness of. I guess it brings us back to, what does independence actually mean? You know, as far as my understanding for Independence Day, it's when the Americans declared independence from Great Britain, and it was the day that the Declaration of Independence was taken through Congress. But what does independence mean? You know, financial? Is it a state of mind? Is it where, you know, what's the core of it? That's my question.
Yeah, I think, like Layla and Denise have said, that Independence Day, and what comes to my mind is, this is history, isn't it? This is just history that we all know, and it changes. what is Independence Day all about? And I think, like you said, with America, was it the you know, freedom from England? You know, what was it? What? Because we kind of understand history as what it's like. If you speak to this generation and speak about what was history like at school, it could be something totally different, you know. So I think for me it is just coming into line that this is something that did happen, and it is very important to a lot of people out there, you know, even to our listeners, that there could be something significant that they remember, that they know, and that's what we honor, I guess. But in my mind, in my heart, I just believe it's a part of history that I've not really looked into, if I'm honest. I've heard about it, I know about it, and I guess that's what I do. But it's, again, independence, what does it mean? And I always think Beyonce, independent, you know, what was their song? I'm a survivor. So I think I'm a survivor. And we have so many people in this amazing world that we live in that are survivors of their own independence in their own way. So that's what I believe. And I think I'm going off tangent here, but I'm a survivor. Yeah, I kind of think of independence as survivors for lots of people.
Okay, so sorry, I might have missed some of what Layla said, because Zenta, he's gone in the living room now, but he was playing with a plastic plate and it was far too noisy. So what I wanted to say, yes, it's supposed to be independence from Britain as a colony, but as we discovered on the workshop that we just did on Tuesday, that actually it never became independent. And I went into a section on Tuesday which was looking at the crown, who holds the crown, who is the crown, and also Katrina's section as well, as Denise has already alluded to, that, you know, slavery actually, yes, the African slaves may have been freed and that type of thing, and it was seen as a day of recognition from Britain, but it still continued. So what is slavery? What is independence? Is still very much in existence. So that brought me on to another conversation topic, which was around truth, because even though we're thinking about this historical day, and yes, it hasn't been part of our history, but we've always known that it exists, what we're discovering is that there are so many different elements of history. So things that you would know, well, you would have thought they were true because you've either read them in a book, or you were taught them at school, or, you know, day like today that's just celebrated. When we're actually looking and digging deep on certain elements, we're finding that a lot of truths are not true. So if you just think about that term truth, what does that actually mean to you?
Truth kind of has always meant different things, but I feel like now is being true to your own beliefs, being true to you, staying on your lane, not letting other people affect you. And I feel like, because what I've started to recognize in this movement, that other people's truth doesn't resonate with my truth. And for me, my truth is very much about putting my ego to one side and here to follow guidance in what we need to create going forward. That's what I believe in. And what I feel like my journey is about batting all the outside noise to really bring myself back to my truth and what I'm here to create. And when I see others who are coming from their so-called truth, for me, it just looks like it's just egoic. And I feel like that's not true. That is a form of truth for them. But for me, it just means that they're not coming from their truth. Does that make sense? So, yeah, the process of just being in your truth is to I guess, get a deeper understanding of what you're here to do and what you're here to express. Let me elaborate on that later.
I come in, right? Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? Like, say, sort of truth. I completely agree with Denise there that it's an internal thing. It comes from inside. That's where it starts, being true to yourself, you know, following what is right for you, regardless of what other people are saying, not trying to fit in with the norms. But also for me, truth has come, I come to identify it as a kind of a resonance, you know, a feeling as though, you know, okay, that feels true. So it's more of a sensory relationship, whether it be to information or scenarios or situations. I think that comes, you know, very much part of this journey with all the information and disinformation, with the discernment of being able to pick out, like you say, what does ring true for each of us. And each of us has a different way, a different perspective, different experiences, which we filter through to be able to find what, you know, fits in with our being. So it's a really, really good question. What is truth? Is truth, is it a shareable wave? Is it something that has nothing hidden? Is it being completely, you know, in integrity, where your thoughts, words and actions are in alignment, and that is what you present? Does that mean it has to be presented in a way that is blunt, or can the delivery, does that make a difference to the truth that is being shared? I don't know. This is a really good question. I'm going to leave it there while I ponder.
Thanks, Layla. I'm going to leave it there. I think, well, I believe truth is everything. And truth is what most seekers look for with themselves. I think with a lot of people, they get enough of listening to politics and religion that they end up following their own truth, which is their experience, which is their whole outlook on their life, which I believe is true too. I think if you look at the word believe and truth, and even believe, what are our beliefs? Even that says lie in it. But, you know, is everything, you know, this is what I question. What is true? You know, what, you know, and if you look at your beliefs and you look at the word belief, that too carries the word lie in it. But if you look at the word believe, it has the word live in it. And I believe life is for living, and it's living our best life. And we get obstacles and challenges, and we follow it with our truth to what we believe is true, to wherever it takes us.
That's beautiful, Susie. I just wanted to come back in because something popped into my mind, and there's a I don't know if anyone's heard of Paul Selig, and he has this claim that to make upon others. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. And, you know, you can also make that claim for others. And I just wanted to bring it back to truth being that divinity, that core essence, which is unchangeable, you know, throughout time, you know, it overlaid with the experience, but is truth that which never changes, that which it always is. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
But I love that, Layla, because that's true. The true essence of who we are and our true state of being is peace and love. Yet we get carried away with our emotions, thinking love is not our true essence because of what we've experienced. So we run away from our true essence of who we are, believing we're not, because remember the hurt and pain. You see, and this is where I love these conversations, because we're just getting deep. We have like a deep dive to think, what is love? Well, this is love, sharing our truth is love. Sharing what we believe is what we walk and talk is truth. It is our truth. And you know, when we talk about our truth, that is love. Love is not something we're like waiting sometimes, waiting for, oh yes, if I do this and then it's gonna be love. But no, love is this. Love is caring. Love is essence of who we are. And sometimes it takes the experience of life for us to know and experience what that true love is. But that is true essence. My believing in that is peace and love. Yet we have to become aware of that love and peace within us, because we've lost it. But it's always there. It's always there. Watch out for the silence. And even here with us talking, it is here. It is within me. It's that true essence of who we are. Thanks, Layla. That's a really good point, because I could have gone off tangent, but I'm glad you brought me back into this moment, into the realness of who we are.
I think it circles back to where Denise brought us. You know, it comes back into ourselves, being true to ourselves. You know, as with everything, that is the starting point. That's the where it all changes.
And there's no end or beginning to this. It will continue always.
And it's funny how the experience, the truth, and your divine path, it's almost like it's a triangular thing where you navigate your way through it, because we arrive on this, you know, in our body, in this vehicle, not remembering, and then we navigate through, and you know, sometimes we know the truth that is within us, but we don't know. And then the more we do, the more we navigate, the more we understand, but it's still more understanding the outside as well as the inside. And so that we understand we are one and we feel that connection. Oh, it's just so much to it.
And sometimes it can take a whole lifetime for us to actually realize that our true state is peace and love. It's just that all our experience and our conditioning has made us forget that, or we don't want to believe that. We deny that because we become the human part of us will fight against it, but the being part of us will always know. The being is so amazing. The being in all of us is amazing, yet the human part of us will want to fight it and say, no, it's not true.
Okay, thank you. So what I wanted to add, and this has come from Abraham Hicks, and basically in terms of beliefs, your beliefs are the thoughts that you keep thinking. So that's how we formulate our beliefs, by continuing to think those thoughts. And I know this to be true in regards to information that I've been discovering over particularly the last year, has definitely altered the way how I have been thinking about particular people, situations, and what you'd say, references to history. So I now think differently, which has actually shifted my belief on those particular subjects. I wanted to bring it back to the cards, because the first card was spread your wings. And the deeper message, the first message was, don't hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. Additional message, although you may feel intimidated by the prospect of change and the thought of moving past your comfort zone, you are ready to fly high. Welcome new opportunities and know it is safe to follow your heart and your dreams. Keep your focus upon love, service, and spirit, and avoid any naysayers or skeptics. Remember that you inspire others with your story of turning challenges into victories. So I think that is very relevant for where we are in the conversation, because you know, we are in a time where certain truths are now being censored. So some people who've got much bigger audiences than us, and they're trying to get messages out which they believe to be true, they're having their voices censored on different platforms. For ourselves, we know that we're still trying to reach a number of people, but the message is, you know, don't be intimidated by what we can see and the challenges that have been, you know, out there. We will have ways where we will be able to bypass these challenges and basically get the connections flowing. I mean, I've had such lovely feedback from new members who've come into the group, the Telegram group, over the last week or so, to say that it's such a welcoming environment and such a loving environment, and giving them the opportunity and that space to speak about things from their heart, which, you know, they know to be true. So I just thought that that was a lovely opportunity to bring the angels readings back in there. Okay, so wow. Oh, and another thing, actually, one thing that I wanted to say about, because Denise spoke about in this, what we're talking about, this truth movement. Well, within this truth movement, you have people talking like from a very perspective of the ego. It's my group. There's divisions within the movement. There's distractions within the movement. There is what I would say, not a sense of collective thought, collective energy of going in one direction. It might not be the ultimate truth, but it may be a good enough point for us to move forward and really feel that we can make some, like I said, collective decisions and things like that. And again, I think all these, particularly the division, is coming from that word truth. The distractions, we do know that some of them are deliberate, others may be not intentional, but that's the way how it can be perceived as well. So again, it comes back to, you know, whose truth. It should be your own, because you should be following what's in your heart. Don't look for leaders. Be the leader of your own life. Stand in your own sovereignty. Walk your own journey. And if your paths cross with other people that you feel are on the same, what I'd say, wavelength as yourself in terms of thoughts and deeds and actions, then yeah, there's no problem with getting together with others, but it should always be what's coming from yourself. Brilliant. Any other points on truth?
And well, we were talking about Independence Day, and then the 4th of July, and then the movie Independence Day, and and the thought of, well, not thought, there being the official announcement from, was it the Pentagon or the CIA or whoever, making an official statement that aliens exist. Well, because they made that statement, therefore it must be true.
I'd like to introduce our new segment here called Dun Dun Dun, Fact or Fear.
Yes, the new segment, Fact or Fear. So I guess, yeah, I'll introduce what my thoughts are on this. So I've always believed that in an infinite universe that there would be something, right? For there not to be anything just seems nonsensical, and the truth being hidden. That being said, it's nice to see these videos that are coming out of like spaceships entering into the water and all this sort of stuff, and how far in advance in technology these beings are. But they also, there's the perception of of these different beings, of who they are and whatnot. And having done the Akashic records, you know, you only get one type of alien. They're never good. And having done the Akashic records, there are, you know, different solar systems and planets and beings of light that are there, that are here, that are helping us. Yeah, so it's interesting as a collective how we are switching our mindset into believing more. I'm gonna keep my conversation vague.
I'll come in next. Yeah, well, you know, with regards to other beings, you know, whether it's non-terrestrial, extraterrestrial, alien, I don't know what their preference may be in how they're referred to, but it does open you up, you know, to think that we are the only beings in existence. I think there's, in my perspective, there seems to be more than enough evidence and personal experiences to indicate that there are other beings that exist. And as Denise touched on, I think with all these movies and the way certain presentations are made, you know, Sigourney Weaver having creepy things crawling out of her, it's like, you know, it's sort of, you think, oh, anything which is foreign or unknown is something to fear, you know, but then you think, right, we have that sort of interaction with between ourselves at times, you know, those from a different culture or way of being, there's an unknown, and people have been quite apprehensive towards each other because of it. But does it need to be that way? You know, do we need to perpetuate fear? If we were to approach things more of a sense of curiosity, then it changes the whole dynamic of things. And the other thing I wanted to say is also, you know, that there can be a tendency for something that is unknown or may have technologies or things which make them to have more skills and abilities. What power do we give away to them? But also, you know, there is a likelihood of questioning. Doesn't mean they're good, doesn't mean they're bad. Just like we're people, we all have qualities which can enhance and qualities which can be of detriment. So it's about taking it on an individual level and not tarnishing a whole set of people or beings with one way of thinking or one way of being, but being open to, for each individual experience to carry its own merit. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I think just being open to explore what the possibilities may be.
Yeah, aliens. I'm really intrigued when we think about aliens or when we're talking about aliens, because I've heard it time and time again, and I'm curious to know, you know, even if our listeners, or even more, want to share what their thoughts are on aliens, because I have heard people say to me, I've seen an alien. Who am I to not question that? You know, who am I to say, yeah, like you said, Layla, be open about this, because people share stuff like this, and then they as soon as they notice that you're not interested or you think it's a bit whatever, they then won't continue. And I think, why not continue? You know, what's happening around the world nowadays anyway, that you can't actually say, hey, I'm actually interested in what you're saying here, and not dismiss it? Because it's when we dismiss conversations like this where people actually do think they're going to stir crazy, or they are crazy when they're not. You know, they've seen that, they've come across it. Share it. Let's find out more about it. The fear is, I think, of the unknown, because we don't want to go there. We think it's, you know, we'll have our own ideas and concepts about what an alien is because we've watched a scary movie and we're going to shit ourselves, but that's what it is, you know. So I'm kind of really intrigued and want to know all about it. I mean, the only way I can say is that when I used to talk about good relationships and bad relationships, I could draw an alien and say, come on, kids, is this the right way? Aliens landed on our planet. And I actually said that. Aliens landed on our planet. They don't know how to interact with others. So let's show this alien how to interact with others. So I'm open to it all. I'm just really intrigued. I'm curious to know what people's ideas are and what they've seen. And I believe more and more conversations need to be out there so people know that it's okay. It's, you know, it is what it is.
I think a lot of people are a lot more open to it. Like literally, it must have been about 1.5 years ago. And I went to a play group with some friends and there was other people there. And I just sat there and I was like, does it not just blow your mind that there's an infinite universe and that there are like aliens there and there's just stuff that we don't know? And everyone was just like, yeah. And we were all like, God. And then just like, we're just overwhelmed and we're like, oh, and then stop talking about it. Like, it was just freaking me out now. Like that, you know, you just can't like picture anything and our little minds just get like blown up by it. So I guess maybe that's why we don't delve into that area, because it does overwhelm us so much.
But do you know, I think it kind of brings you, just to bring back into ourselves. When we look at our bodies, they function every day, but we don't know the intricacies of, you know, what is actually going on in each individual. And you think, oh my gosh, there's so many wonders out there, both in the micro and the macro. So, you know, they're sort of reflective of each other. So much to.
But it's so funny that you say that, because when I did a podcast with a functional nutritional medicine practitioner, she said that we were made up of like 60 billion viruses, right? So technically we're not even human because of there's that many viruses within our and bacteria and stuff. That's what we're made of. So, you know, if we're doing it going on a technical level, we're not really even human. From watching The Cosmic Secret, they were saying that like 90% of our DNA is recognized, the other is considered junk DNA. Well, how can something so sophisticated like DNA be junk just because you don't understand it? And so that is the alien part of us, some are saying. So, and activating that and going in within ourselves, we can, and this is the truth that we are detached from in our reality, is the power that we hold within us, and activating these DNA to then activate this power. And in essence, that's really what our truth is. And I feel like the more work I do on myself, the more I am remembering where I'm from and connecting to that on that level. In one of my meditations that I did, I literally met my galactic family, and I was doing it with a friend, and she was like, oh, this is your galactic family. And it did feel like family. Like I didn't know who they were, but I just knew who they were. Like, and I just felt, they felt like family. I felt like I was home. I mean, how do you get that if that's not the truth, right? So you can't make these things up. And then the notion of not believing, and I really liked Susie's take on belief and believing, was this is where we create our imagination, is that part of us that we need to explore, where we don't explore. Because we don't explore, we don't create. And our head tells us, no, you can't do that. And we need to get out of our head and start imagining things, because that imagination, even in a meditation, I saw this and I saw that. That is your truth. That is part of the truth. Whether, and it's part of accepting that as your reality, then accepting the crap, basically, the beliefs. I feel like the beliefs and the believing, that is a big distinction between the truth and who you are. So it's kind of come back full circle, I guess.
Yeah, but I also believe when you say stuff like that, that we are all being driven to the unknown if we allow ourselves to. And you know how passionate we are about emotions. And I'd like to question anybody that sits here and is feeling a bit triggered by the word alien, or even thinking about the unknown. It scares the hell out of you. Sit with that part of you, the unknown, and write about it, or do something about it. Even don't do anything about it, but just be aware of that part of you that's really kind of freaking out when you think about the unknown of what we are, because it's all in us. So sit with that part of you and allow it just to be there, so you're not so afraid of it, because you'll make it your truth to find what is the unknown about you, which is all a mystery. It's all exciting stuff.
Wow, some fascinating different views and perspectives shared. Personally, I've always been open to the idea that we're not alone. I agree with Denise. You know, if there are, you know, look how big the universe is, for example. So why do we think we're this special to be here on our own? And now I'm being connected with others from different parts of the world who've had different experiences, and they're sharing these experiences. I'm just listening. I mean, I personally haven't had any what I would call contact with another light being or anything like that, but I am open to learning more and listening to other people's experiences. I want to come back to the second card again, clear cogniance. Very, very interesting based on what you've shared today. So the initial thing was pay attention to your thoughts and ideas that have come to you as they are answered prayers. I'm not going to read the full additional message, but something that came out for me was talking about don't discount your thoughts or think that they are just dreams or common knowledge. Your thoughts are tuned to high frequencies right now and are trustworthy inspirations. And the message has actually come to us from Archangel Uriel. And Uriel means the light of God. And he's known for his ability to enlighten our minds with divine inspiration. So it's very interesting that at this time when we are being presented with different possibilities, different things that may have been spoken about, years ago, and then the conversation died down and now they're coming through again, we're actually being told that, just be open, pay attention to your thoughts and ideas that come to you. So that's really important. And again, Uriel will supply you with information after you've asked him for help. So if any of you are like listening in on this and thinking, oh, I'm not really too sure about this, and you wanted to tap in deeper, then, the angels and the archangels are all around us. And I've been saying over the last week or so, because we're using technology and we're finding answers to questions from different sources, there has been chatter with those who've been working with angels saying that, they do like to help us and assist us. So we can always tap in for their guidance on these matters as well. So Uriel's there to say, use your clear cogniance and ask for help if you need it. All right.
Can I just explain something? So it's funny that you went back to that card, because there was a video that I'd watched about 6 months ago, and it was kind of look into the future, that where we're all like coming into our truth and activating our divine self, that we will all become how the extraterrestrials, how they communicate, which would be non-verbal. So how I do find this with my husband, like I'll say something, he's like, get out of my head, I was just about to say that. So we're very much like the ego talks, right? And so we will, I think they said between 100 to 1,000 years, we will just be like this. This will be our Zoom call. Just silence. But this is the possibility, right? So really trying to tap in, because like what I teach at Sisters of Light is about putting your ego to one side to listen, to see beyond what you think, right? It's not about what you think. It's about what you're seeing. It's about what you're feeling. It's about what you're experiencing. And that's different. Our brain cannot take that much information. So it's a frequency we're trying to dial into, and learning how to dial into that. That's where you get all the infinite part of you, the truth, all this sort of stuff. And I feel like, 'cause I don't really meditate that much anymore. I don't really need to let go that much anymore. I set intentions, and I feel like I can tune in, and I try and tune in and be that, because I can put my ego. That's one of my skills, is to put my ego to one side. Sometimes I choose not to, that's a different matter, but I can put it to one side. And so everything I'm doing, I know that when I see other people from the truth movement, that their intentions aren't coming from their heart, because if they were, they wouldn't be acting a certain way, and it wouldn't be negative. And so I'm really conscious of people like leading other people to come from that place versus coming from an egoic, action-based, right? Obviously action is important, but when the action is coming from the head, then obviously, it's not going to be a positive. Anyway, I'm going off on one. That's a different story.
I just wanted to end on this thought of energy, and your energy is the essence of who you are. So people can feel your energy. If they are tapped in, they can feel your energy before you've even opened your mouth or said anything. And I don't want to leave Archangel Josephiel out of this, because the message is go outside, get some fresh air, connect with nature to relieve stress, gain new creative ideas. But the deeper message is also talking about being in nature renews your spirit and revives your energy. It says your energy level. So again, we can get what I would say charged up by being outside. So all of this work's really important. And just going off here, again, if you're struggling, so maybe this message might be for our viewers just as a reminder, and I want to touch on this and expand on this. You know, we can actually call upon Josephiel if you are finding it difficult to get outside more. Ask for help to ease your schedule up so that you can get more time outside. These are the times where we really do need to be getting as many light nodes as we can. So whether it's from the sunlight, from the moonlight, from the starlight, it's really, really important, because again, Denise used the word light beings. We are light. You know, that's who we are. So we need to remember all this nature and this beauty that we live in is all designed. It all connects. You know, we connect with nature and nature connects with us. And one of the things that we want to tell you about is we will be encouraging more, what we'd say, experiences of members in our community spending time in nature and actually showing each other, you know, I've been out, this is what I've found, this is what I've discovered. So we're still working on that. But if you are part of the Telegram group, then look out for that, because that's something that will be coming your way. All right, then. So we've been on for quite a while today. It's been obviously a juicy topic. Just wanted a quick 30 seconds of final thoughts from those who feel that you want to say something more.
Like you said, get outside. You know, when the sun is out there, even 5 minutes of letting the sun touch your head is like having your battery renewed. Like we do with our phones and technology, do it for you. You deserve it for you. Even if you don't understand this, just do it for you.
What a beautiful... Oh, they both come back in now. I thought you weren't coming back in. Go on, then.
I'm just I'm getting harassed now, so I can't. My final words are going to go.
I was just going to say, just know that you are loved and know you are loved. Until next time.
All right. So, as we said in the beginning, we haven't been asking for your help to help us to get this message out. If you have enjoyed our message and you enjoy being part of this Divine Cuppa experience with us, please give us a like, please share our content, because that will help our content to reach more people. So we're going to sign off now. Just to let you know that we did record the second workshop on Tuesday. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were so many nuggets in there. I don't want to forget my uncle, who actually sang a song called False Evidence Appearing Real, aka Fear. So that was definitely featured in the workshop that evening. And there will be a link below if you're thinking, gosh, what were they talking about? We covered so much. There's going to be a link below this Divine Cuppa. You can watch the replay, but to be watching the replay, it's not just the information that we share there. We want you to be part of our community. We've got so many other benefits for you coming into the community. So please check out that link, have a look at what we're doing, and we cannot wait to welcome you on the inside. So it's bye from us for this week, and we will see you next time. Bye.